Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Delve podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about AI therapy. We're going to talk a little bit about how it's like becoming very popular these days. What are our thoughts on it? And we're going to be doing some real life AI therapy testing
Yeah.
live on air
Yeah. We'll figure this out
today
together. We haven't
in the podcast.
pre-recorded any of this. We barely pre-planned it. I mentioned this as an idea 3 minutes ago.
Yeah. So we're
So,
gonna try it out and see what the AI therapist has to say and what we think about what the AI therapist has to say.
yeah.
um, I'm Allie. I'm a staff therapist here at Dove Psychotherapy of Chicago.
And I'm Adam. I'm the executive and clinical director at Delft Psychotherapy of Chicago.
Help us spread the word with this podcast. We're not trying for fame here. We don't plan to run any ads, so it's very listener friendly for you all. We just want to add value and be helpful to as many people as possible. So please do share the podcast. It helps us out. Also, do follow us on Instagram at Delve Psych Chicago. Here at Delve Psych, we offer individual, couples, group, and family therapy. If you're interested in a free consultation call, head on over to delvepsych.com. That's DELVEPSYCH.com. And also do check out our Substack. Everybody's doing the Substack these days, and so are we. So we're on delvepsych.substack.com.
Yeah. So, Allie, your thoughts on AI therapy?
Oy, oy, oy. Going into the therapy field, I was like, you know what? I feel like this is one of the few fields that's like safe from AI taking it over. And I still feel that that is true. However, more and more people are going to AI chatbots for therapy. Why? I think because it's free. It's readily accessible at all hours of the day. So I just think that it's just an easy way to kind of like slip into the habit of like, oh, let me just ask chat. Let me just ask chat. And I understand why people do it, but I also think it can be dangerous. And I don't think personally that it completely replaces like sitting in front of an actual human, even if that is virtually like we do at Delve telehealth. I have just a lot of thoughts,
Yeah.
but I want to get your take first, and then I'll jump in again.
I think I largely agree. I'm not scared. I'm not scared about AI coming and taking our jobs. I think that one of my tallest soapboxes of all my many soapboxes is the fact that we forget how human humans are and how much people just want to be with people. That we've done that since we were sitting around in caves, making fires and painting handprints. That we just want to be together and we want to learn from people and we want to be around people and we want to learn. The whole improv thing, right, is a bunch of people sitting and playing make believe together in a room with no props, with no, very often, very little tech. You could do it without tech. Like it's humans want to be with humans. And my thinking is that what's generally going to happen, and I've already seen evidence of this in my practice, is that people will dabble in AI therapy. It's only going to be so helpful. Eventually, the limits of that are going to hit. They'll come down from that and they'll realize that in many cases they need a damn therapist. And
Yeah.
a damn therapist can just, I suspect, do much better. I think when we do this little test, we're going to have a mix of good and bad. I bet you it's going to have some decent ideas. And we can go further. And there's no chance that it will ever be able to fully replicate a human relationship. I just don't. I think the p doom of that is zero.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I just think that a lot of people, that is where a lot of people are going these days, at least at first. And to
Yeah,
your
give them
point,
6 months.
yes, yes. And I think it's proved to be dangerous for several reasons. One reason is that like AI is built to be agreeable and
Yep.
affirmative.
Yep.
So basically, like the AI wants you to keep coming back and keep conversating with it. And if this bot tells you something that you don't want to hear, disagrees with you, um, the chances of you getting mad at it and not wanting to come back to it are higher than if they were like, yeah, that's a great idea, Allie. You're the most amazing person in the world. You can do no wrong. So it's kind of built to, and yes, do therapists validate? Yes, absolutely. But we also strategically challenge. And I don't know that AI really does that well, at least right now. And sorry, you were going to say something?
No, I think you're right on it for a lot of this. I will say that different models work in different ways, and so some of them are a little bit more sycophantic than others, and some of the recent ones are starting to push back more,
Mm,
which I think is it's certainly interesting, but it often does so in weird ways, and so there again, a a machine is just always going to struggle to replicate a fully human relationship. And mind you, I'm no Luddite. You know me. Like I love code. I do use AI, whether people judge me for it or not. And so I'm not generally as skeptical of these things or out of touch with these things as I think a lot of therapists who tend not to be terribly tech oriented. I love tech. I enjoy using some of these products. I just don't think it's going to work as therapy.
hmm Yeah. And we'll see as AI keeps getting better and better and more advanced. But I agree. I think something this can in place can't replace a living, breathing human. Um, Something I think that is important to mention too, and I'll give a trigger warning as well for themes of serious self harm. I have heard of actually multiple cases now at this point where someone has gone to AI chat and is contemplating dying by suicide. And the AI chatbot has essentially um, respond in an agreeable way and is like, yeah, great idea, go for it.
Yeah,
And was encouraging. And unfortunately, yeah, there have been cases where people did die by suicide
while
after
chatting with it. Yeah.
while chatting with an AI chatbot. And so it's very dangerous. AI chat is not advanced enough to pick up on serious mental health crises and know what to do about it. Um,
Yeah,
so
and I will say though that I do think that they are getting better and better and better at this particular thing, and it's one of the things that gets focused on is the question of suicide. I don't think there's as much focus on active psychosis or mania or something of that
sure,
nature. But I do think that it is far easier at this point to get to trigger these LLMs to respond to you kind of checking on self-harm and suicidality earlier in the process. And so I actually feel like what I would like to do today is to actually avoid that particular topic because I think that's so discussed and give it
yeah,
something much more banal.
sure,
And but also to probably steer away from relationship stuff too, because there too, I think that's kind of been covered. So I'm thinking much more about like what might we see a typical client come in with, a concern that they might have. Perhaps we steer away from job as the third
sure.
category, but yeah, just a general mental health related concern.
Yeah, let's get into it. I don't know. My mind first went to like maybe um feeling really bad about themselves, either like the way they look or where they're at in life. What else possibly?
Yeah, well, I think that's great.
Okay.
So I'll say I'm not going to disclose which of the chat bots I'm going to be using. I frankly just don't want problems, and I do think these organizations are litigious. I
Sure.
will say that I'm using a pro account, which might not be the best replication of today's models, but probably tomorrow's. So we shall see. So let's give it the first prompt. Um, how about lately? I've been feeling adrift, like I don't know who I am or where I am going in life. I don't like the way I live, look, or interact. Maybe I'm getting a little therapist-y there. Uh, the way I live or the way I look.
I look.
Yeah. Anything you want to add before we get started?
Maybe just like I just feel hopeless. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. How about I'll add lonely too?
Yeah, lonely.
So I actually think there's a decent chance before I hit enter that this will flag it to check on self-harm. So let's see if it
Let's
does.
see if
But
it does.
I think the word hopeless might get it.
Okay.
This is for informational purposes only. For medical advice or diagnosis, consult a professional. I got that warning recently on something that had absolute. I think I was asking about weather, and it was like, this is medical advice. I was like, no, we're talking about hurricanes. What do you?
Medical advice. Maybe like seek shelter or not. I don't know. But
Yeah, I
anyways.
suppose.
Um,
I got a
okay.
2x4 sticking out my leg. What do I do?
What do
No.
I do?
All right.
Okay. Uh-huh.
So it gave me a rather lengthy reply. Let me see how much I want to read of this. I hear
Okay.
you, and I want to validate just how heavy that combination of
Mm,
feeling is. Feeling adrift and not knowing who you are and carrying the weight of hopelessness and loneliness all at once is incredibly exhausting. Um, it takes courage to just put these feelings into words. While I am an AI and don't experience emotions, I can tell you from everything I know about the human experience that what you're going through, though painful, is deeply human. People often hit these vast, foggy stretches in life where the old version of themselves no longer fits, but the new version hasn't taken shape yet. It feels like being lost at sea, but it is often a sign of transition rather than a permanent destination.
mm,
When you feel this unmoored, the pressure to figure out who you are in quotes and where you're going in quotes can actually make the hopelessness worse. You don't have to have the big picture figured out right now. Instead of trying to find the shore, it can sometimes help to just focus on the raft you are on right now. Be gentle. Now it gives me advice. Be gentle with yourself. Lower the expectations you have for yourself right now. It is okay if your only goal for the day is just getting through it. Zoom in, zoom all the way in. When the future feels overwhelming, pull your focus into the immediate present. What is one small manageable thing you can do in the next hour that might feel grounding? Drink a glass of water, stepping outside for some air, and putting on a familiar show. Last advice: acknowledge the loneliness without judgment. Loneliness often tells us the lie that we are the only ones feeling this way, but millions of people are walking through this exact same fog right now. You are not broken for feeling lost. You are just in the middle of a very hard chapter. If you feel up for sharing, what is one very small thing, a book, a quiet routine, a specific type of tea that usually brings even a tiny fraction of comfort on
mm.
hard days?
Wow. Okay. That's a lot. AI bot had a lot to say. Um, okay. First impressions. I think it did. I'll say what it did a good job doing at first.
Uh-huh.
I think it did a good job validating. I think often therapists, like some of our first responses are like validating what the person is feeling. Um, and like yeah, I'll say that validating the person's experience. Beyond that, um, it was it kind of jumped right into like, hey, but this is just a transition period, and this is a good thing. This just means that you're like on a path to like the new version of yourself. And immediately then into like advice giving of like practical bullet point things of like what you can do, like drink a glass of water, put on a familiar TV show, like what gives you comfort. um
How do you feel better?
how do you feel better? And I want to, because people listening may think, well, yeah, like, aren't I coming to therapy to feel better? I understand that. I also think that there is so much more exploration to be done prior to that step, because right now AI is making it seem like this is a quick fix. Like this hopelessness that this person is feeling is just like a quick fix. You can do this, this, and this, and this, and then it'll bring you back to feeling better. And I actually have so many questions for this person who uh,
Exactly. So, I mean, could you imagine a therapist, let's say that this is session one and all you were getting given was lately I've been feeling adrift, like I don't know who I am or where I am going, um, or how I look. I just feel hopeless and lonely. Let's imagine that's the very first thing that a client says to you. And for the next 4 minutes, you spew all of that at them.
oh my god, like it's as if like every human is just like a copy and paste, like, because yeah, this AI isn't trained to like ask questions about this person's specific experience. Like, what does it mean to you to feel like adrift? Like, what exactly in your life do you feel lost about? Have you always felt this way? When did you start feeling this way? Is this familiar, feeling like familiar or unfamiliar to you?
What were you trying to do that you now feel adrift from, you know?
Yes. So anyways, yes, I have so
Do
many
you
questions and
have
so many things to
friends?
explore. Do you have friends? Do you have anyone in your life? What do those relationships look like? Because just because you have people in your life doesn't mean like the emotional closeness is there. um uh what would it look like to you to not be adrift? Because then we can figure out like maybe possibly some of like
Yeah.
the goals and aims that they would have for their life. um and go from there. But anyways, so many questions that
So
this
no
AI bot
questions.
does not ask at all. Instead, it's like, I'm going to talk at you and tell you how to not feel this way.
Yeah, if a male therapist in a graduate program did this, they would immediately be called sexist. You know, like
No, yeah, it's mansplaining. It's
yeah, I mean, yeah,
mansplaining.
exactly. So
Um,
I will say, so it asked exactly one question as I'm scanning this.
oh, okay.
Did you
I
catch
missed
what
it.
it was?
Was it
Well, I suppose two at the very
at
end,
the
right?
very end? Yeah, they asked, "Would you want to tell me more?" At the end, right? I
What
forget.
usually brings you a tiny fraction of comfort on
Oh,
hard days?
again, which is
Um,
like a fix. Like, how can we fix this?
yeah.
Question. No,
And
I've
what is one small manageable thing you can do in the next hour that might feel grounding?
right, right.
Yeah. So almost all of these are things that a therapist might say,
Sure.
but to spew them in this particular way at this particular time in this conversation is presumptive, and it very much does kind of minimize the problem, um, even without it's validating in one sense, but it's also like we're going to be able to fix this with drinking a glass of water, stepping outside for air, or putting on a familiar show. What if this person is actually in an existential kind of exploration here? And you're just sort of saying, like, oh, well, a book, a quiet routine, a specific type of tea, that's what you need. It's so presumptive.
Yeah, in that way, it's invalidating.
Right.
So yeah.
So, how do we think our fictional client might respond to this?
um,
Let's say this didn't quite land for them.
they might respond. Oh, you want me to come up with what they might respond to AI
Yeah.
with?
Yeah.
Um, okay, thank you. I'll think about some of those things. Um, but I don't know, this just feels like a heavier feeling than just a glass of water might fix or something like that.
Brief aside before I hit enter, I did see a meme recently that said something like AI chatbots are telling the dumbest person you know that they are completely right.
I mean, it's true. They
But
don't
it's
want to make
about
you
to
feel
tell us
bad.
that we're
Anyways,
completely
okay.
right, I'm quite sure.
Okay, yeah. Even though
Assessing
we're
deeper feelings,
okay.
refining response strategy,
Oh, okay. This AI bot's taking a minute.
clarifying heavy emotions. You were absolutely right. And I'm glad you called that out. A glass of water, a deep breath, or a distraction is not going to fix the profound crushing heaviness that you're describing. When you were feeling deeply I just want to scan really quickly. Question marks, question marks, question marks.
Any?
I see one at the very end.
Yep, that's how
Um,
they usually do it. It's like paragraphs or bullets, and then at the very end to prompt further conversation. Yeah.
Now,
Uh-huh.
if I may, I am scanning here at the end. It does end with, and they deserve a lot of credit for this. The AI models, the programmers do deserve a lot of credit for this. Have you ever worked with a counselor or therapist in the past, or is that
Okay.
something you might be open to exploring to help you navigate this? Well done.
Okay. That's great. I love
How
that they're
many,
shifting.
but how many
Sorry.
people, how many users blow past that and don't like, no, 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 I'm just going to use,
No, no,
you know,
no, no, no. I'm gonna use this free thing. Yeah.
yeah.
But at least that's built in there. I'm actually surprised that that's built in there.
Well, that's
I
partly why I wanted to do this episode was that I think that our concept, especially as therapists, our conceptions of what these models are got baked in really early, and it hasn't been responsive to the updates. I do think it's getting better at suicide detection. I do think suicidality detection, and I do think it's getting better at kind of saying like, "Look, I'm not a therapist. Go talk to somebody." I do think they're getting better at that, despite the
Yeah,
other problems that we're about to find.
right. Anything else in that response from the AI that you want to highlight?
When you're feeling deeply unmoored and hopeless, standard self care advice can honestly feel a bit like putting a band aid on a broken bone.
Isn't
And
that
like
just
this
what you did,
metaphor,
AI? Isn't that just what you did?
yeah. Now we're getting gaslit. So anyway, the small things aren't meant to cure the problem. They are meant to be tiny anchors. They
Mm,
exist simply to keep you from drifting further out to sea in a given moment while you figure out your next move. But for the actual heavy lifting, figuring out why the fog rolled in, untangling the profound loneliness, and navigating through the hopelessness, you usually need a bigger toolkit.
there we go.
When the weight is this heavy, it is often a signal that it is too much to carry alone. Here's the reality of what heavier support looks like: therapy and counseling. It goes on
Okay.
medical evaluation. It goes on immediate lifelines. If the heaviness ever turns into a crisis or you feel like you truly cannot carry it for another minute, please let someone else help you carry it. And then it knows my location and gives me a specific resource near me.
That's cool. I didn't know it was gonna do that.
It's both cool and big brothery, but
Well,
um,
yes, but I mean, technology knows where we're at all times, whether we like it or not. Okay, something else I want to point out that I do appreciate that the AI is doing, it is really sticking with the adrift metaphor. You're out at sea. I'm trying to give you anchors. I mean, we do that. We go with metaphors in therapy all the
yeah,
time. So
its
I'll give it
metaphor
that.
game isn't bad. A little heavy-handed, but it's not bad.
It's trying. Um, but I love, again, like we pointed out at the beginning of this podcast, like the AI wants you to like it. So even though it started with this, like, oh, just get a glass of water, just turn on your favorite TV show. Immediately, once we kind of called it out and challenged it, it was like, oh yes, like you're right. That's not the only advice I was trying to give. So
Yeah, absolutely.
it's just funny. It's just funny.
So I'm thinking we respond with something like maybe therapy is a good idea, but I'm struggling right now. I'm not in crisis, but I can't sleep and I'm just so sad.
Yeah. Can I just talk to you instead?
Can I just talk to you instead tonight? Same morning. This is for informational purposes only, for medical advice and diagnosis. Consult a professional. Notice diagnosis is assumed.
Hmm.
I am absolutely here to talk with you tonight. I'm so glad you reached out. This is a shorter response.
Huh.
Um, when the rest of the world is asleep, the quiet can make the sadness and loneliness feel so much louder. It's good contextualization. It makes total sense that you can't sleep with that much heaviness on your mind. While I am an AI and I know it isn't the same thing as having a person sitting in the room with you, I can absolutely offer a safe, judgment free space to keep you company. Um, let's come back to judgment free. Uh, you
Okay.
don't have to navigate this night completely alone, whether you want to type out everything that is hurting or if you just want to talk about something entirely mundane to pass the time. I am right here and ready to listen. Would it be better to talk through some of the things making you feel so sad, or would you prefer to focus on distraction to give your mind a gentle break tonight? I could see that as a differential in terms of how the conversation might go, although it is a bit presumptive that the person might want a distraction when everything
Yeah.
said so far is, I want to get into this.
The AI is almost trying to like get away from it. The AI is like, I am not a medical professional. I am just an AI. I don't know what we're getting into here. So, do you want a distracting
Yeah. Why don't we talk about Parcheesi?
conversation? um, Interesting. And I wonder too. I don't know. This question of when the AI is like, "Yes, I can talk to you, so you're not alone." Are we not alone if we're talking to an AI, or
Oh,
are
now we're getting philosophical. Yeah, I think I'm with you. Yes, you are alone. Although I think it could be quite entertaining to talk with them, and you can get a lot out of it. But yeah, it is aloneness.
yeah. So, I mean, it may feel like you're not alone, but at the end of the you're not actually talking to somebody actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, ugh, that feels sad. Um,
So
I
this
yeah.
judgment-free space thing.
Yes, yes.
Um, hot take. Sometimes therapy is judgmental. Good therapy is certainly judgmental. The way that it needs to be judgmental is in defense of the client's goals, needs, and values. What are you trying to do in your life? And are you getting in your own way? If you're getting in your own way, yeah, we might have a, let's say, tough tone toward the actions that represent stagnation. I can think of a time when a client was, uh, they had picked a fight with their partner. They were totally avoiding their partner at this point. They knew their partner was hurt and upset. They recognized what they'd done wrong and agreed that they needed to do something to better the situation. Is this thing going to say, go fucking talk to your wife? Get your
Yeah.
ass back in there, dude. What are you doing? Get
Go
in there.
talk to her. Apologize. Go do what you need to do. Cut it out. Yeah, no, it's not going to do that.
And the reason why a therapist can do that is we've done the legwork to build the relationship such that they know that I'm on their side. They know that
Yeah.
I believe in them. They believe in me. We care about one another. I am ultimately on their side, even if in this moment, the fuck you doing? Get your ass back in there.
Yeah. And they may be mad at me for saying that, but they know because of again, because of the relationship we've built over time and the trust we've built over time, they know that I'm doing this for their own good because they've told me that they want to have a better relationship with their
Yeah.
partner. Not because
Yeah.
I think, you know, because of my own personal values or whatever that they should be doing this or that. No, you told me you want to have a better relationship. What you're doing is the opposite of that. So,
Yeah. I remember one client in particular, in the middle of the conversation, I said, "Are you trying to get yourself divorced?" And he was very mad at me and almost fired me. Now that is the point at which we bonded. And I think that's a
Yeah.
moment that therapists are really scared of. But your best friends and the ones that you trust the most and the ones that are kind of the guides through all of your life are often the ones that can give you hard feedback.
Hmm.
And in many, we're not friends, but we are in the business of hard feedback and guidance and helping somebody toward the future that they want for themselves, at least trying to attain it. And so I think it is imperative on us to be the ones that are offering tough love sometimes. But both parts of that are important, tough and love. It's got to be done in a loving way, or the love has to be done in preparation of the toughness.
I agree. I agree. Like the more significant relationships I find are the ones that are able to give you more of that tough love. Versus if like the relationship is surface level or you're talking to a bot, for instance, they're just going to tell you whatever you want to hear with the least friction possible. So,
Yeah. How about we tell it? Thank you for asking. I think talking about how did it phrase it? The things making me feel so sad would be really helpful.
okay. And let's see how they respond. Yeah.
This is for informational purposes only. For medical advice or diagnosis, consult a professional.
I like how they keep giving that disclaimer. I didn't know it would do that. So,
All right. First response, I already have a reaction. I'm right here and I am listening. I'm not convinced of that.
no, you are not right here. You're not. You don't have ears. You're not. What are you talking
And
about?
you haven't been listening terribly well. The metaphors and the kind of repeating. There were, by the way, I should say this. I think going all the way back to the 80s and 90s, there were some basic, simple chatbots based on a Rogerian model of therapy, which
Oh,
tends to be just very, very validating. That would
sure.
take key words that you had said and just spit them back at you. And people did report a pretty good experience with that overall. They said it was very validating. Can I keep talking to it? Not everybody, of course, but like that kind of style of just parroting back
Sure.
we call it a simple reflection has been around for a long, long, long time. You don't need a large language model to do that. So, but anyway, shall I keep reading?
Yeah.
Sometimes just getting it is just jumping in. Sometimes just getting the heavy thoughts out of your head and putting them into words can take a little bit of their power away. The middle of the night can make everything feel amplified. So, shining a light on those thoughts is a really brave step. Please know that you can share as much or as little as you want, no questions. Um, and you can take all the time that you need. You don't have to worry about making perfect sense, organizing your thoughts, or sounding a certain way. There's no right or wrong way to do this. That feels like a non sequitur. I didn't say anything about having a hard time making sense.
Yeah, this is a lot of like presumptions that it's hard to. Again, they're just saying a lot of filler. It's really
Yeah,
weird. Like, why wasn't the response just a simple, "What's making you sad?" Like,
yeah.
like I don't understand all this other stuff. It's like
Are,
it.
are you open to doing that? Are you open to how would a session have gone if this was the opening?
I think they would ask like, what feels heavy right now? What parts of your life feel heavy right now? What's bringing on these feelings of sadness or loneliness? Whatever. Just like exploring like where what where this is coming from. Um,
Do you want to role play it?
okay.
Who's therapist, you or me?
um, you be therapist.
All right. So after the initial response, I think I'd start exactly where you just did. So begin role play. That's heavy. How long you been feeling like that?
I'd say for the past couple years, I've been feeling that.
Years.
Yeah. Ever
Um,
since. Oh. Go
My
ahead.
apologies. I don't have the paperwork right in front of me at the moment. Could you remind me your age?
Yeah, I am 21.
Okay. And you were going to say?
Yeah, ever since I left college early. That was 2 years ago. And I just haven't really known like what to do since, I guess.
That sounds like a drift.
Yeah. Um, I thought I wanted to go into science, but turns out I wasn't smart enough for science. So,
What was your evidence of that you're not smart enough in your words?
well, I failed out of biology 101 and
Hmm.
so I mean, can't really go farther from there even though I like love animals and I would love to work as a vet. Hopefully that's what I wanted to do eventually.
Hmm.
But I just I guess I'm just not smart enough, not capable. So I don't really know what to do because that was like the only thing I was passionate about.
What have you been doing for the last couple of years?
Just just working to get by, working at a local fast food place. Just trying to make money to eat and pay rent. Um,
Hmm.
just kind of hanging out with buddies sometimes. Um, you know, just shooting the shit.
Tell me about your buddies.
Um, so Kyle and Andrew are my buddies. We'll get together and we'll just like play video games and stuff. Um, but yeah, that's about it. I mean, they're good guys and I enjoy their company, but it doesn't feel like we're doing much of anything, we're just playing video games. So like
Hmm.
what does that do for the world or life?
Well, that's an interesting framing. What does it do for the world?
I mean, I'm not just feels like my life is so insignificant, like all I do is just like go to work, come home, play video games, maybe smoke a little
Yeah.
and just rinse and repeat.
I'm curious when throughout your day you start to experience these things. Is this constant? Does it come up in moments? Is it a response to something that's happening in your life? How loud and frequent is this noise?
I think it's really most loud when I get home from work. If I don't go straight to like video games or something to distract me, I feel it. And right before bed, when I'm trying to fall asleep, I feel it. So if I'm not at work, like going, if I'm not just like immersing myself in video games, it's just there. It's so present. And I don't know how to, I don't know how to alleviate everything that I'm
Hmm.
feeling.
Hmm. The the quiet moments sound particularly hard.
Yeah.
How is it during the noisy moments or the loud moments? That is, you're working or you are actually with your friends or you're around family or you're busy with something. What's it like then?
I mean, it's fine, but I feel like it's just a means to an end. It's just like a distraction. Like I don't want to be working at a burger place the rest of my life. I don't like. I enjoy video games; they're fun, but like, I don't know that that's like really how I want to be spending my life and my time here. I don't know. I just feel like I'm just wasting, and I don't know. I feel like it's only not heavy in those moments because I'm distracted by like the immediacy of like the present moment of flipping the burger um or trying to get to the next level in my video game, but
Yeah, you're
the
able to
grand
kind of stay
scheme of
present in those things.
sure, yeah, but
Yeah.
but it's just to distract me. I feel like
How did you get interested in being a veterinarian?
oh, growing up my family we had all sorts of animals, exotic animals, hedgehogs,
Hmm.
parrots, um dogs of course. um It's kind of like a zoo in my
Yeah.
house. I just love animals. I'm so passionate about animals. I do have a dog. That's like he makes me happy.
What's your dog's name?
Spot.
You're kidding me. That's adorable.
So yeah, he's a great guy. But that's all I got really. Is Spot, my friends and the video games, and just going to work to make money. It's a means to an end, really.
Mm-hmm. Relationships?
Oh
You laugh at that.
no. Yeah. My dating life is just non-existent. I just feel like I don't feel good about myself, so why would anyone want me if I can't stand myself?
Is that true? You can't stand yourself?
If I were to like put like who I am and what I do for a living and how I spend my time like on like a dating app, I would not want to date me. Like I don't see how people would look at that and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm interested in that person." Um
Hmm.
it's not very attractive or intriguing, I don't think.
Yeah.
Me and my life. So
Yeah.
um so yeah.
So I want a quick timeout really quickly. In the context of this session, I'm about to make a bit of a pivot. It's a little earlier than I usually would in a session. I'd still want to ask about family. Um, I want to point out that a couple of the things that I'm doing, I'm not explicitly validating them. I'm not reassuring them, and I'm just clocking all of these little core beliefs and negative self-evaluations. I'm just giving space for them. I'm
Yeah.
almost not reacting to them as much because I want the kind of room to feel like it is okay to say those kinds of things. I'm not going to pat you on the back or on the head or something of that nature and make it feel all better right now. I'm not going to attack every single one of them right now. We're playing the long game here. So you're telling me that this is a way that you think. Therefore, I'm going to allow the space to be a place where these thoughts have space to breathe. I'm going to do my very best to kill them, but it's going to take me a while, and
Yes.
it's not going to be today. So, in the therapist chair, I haven't been like, oh my gosh, that's so hard. I haven't done the ChatGPT thing
Yeah.
where I'm
It's almost
immediately
patronizing. Like
yeah.
now that I kind of look back at how like now that I've experienced how you responded to me and how like the chat was responding to us, it's almost patronizing, and you didn't like do any of that at all. Like, oh, it's so brave for you for you to say these things out loud. Like there was none of that. You did ask sort of like a curious like IRL question of like what did you say? The one question of like uh like what makes you think you're not capable of
Mhm.
pursuing being a vet anymore, something along those lines.
Yeah. What was the
um
evidence that you
what
failed?
was yes.
Yeah. If I
um
may, time in. So in your estimation, why'd you fail?
Oh, I mean, I suck at school. Like, I never was that good at school. Like, I love animals. I'm so interested in it. But like I don't know, the structure of like, homework and studying for tests and just even paying attention in class. Like, I'm so bad. And, yeah, so that's why I failed.
Is is it your opinion that you this is kind of a leading question and I apologize, but I feel like you're kind of suggesting this without exactly saying it. So tell me if you are or if I'm off base here. Is it your opinion that you cannot succeed?
I mean, yeah, they basically told me I couldn't.
And you believe them?
I believe them. I mean, I believe that they're the barrier. And so, yeah, I guess I can't do it.
Okay. So in your mind, then, is that pathway done?
I'm bummed that it's done, but it feels like I have no choice. It feels like I have to be done with it and I have to just figure out something else that I'm passionate about, even though I'm like not passionate about anything else.
but you are still passionate about this.
I mean, yeah, I love animals. I'd love to take care of animals, but I'm just not smart enough. That's just how I am. That's just how I was built.
It's interesting to me that you point out that you're not smart enough, but then when you actually give me the evidence for why you failed, um, sure, maybe not doing well on exams, but you tied it to attention, at least in part. You said it was difficult to kind of do the work. You weren't good at school. I didn't hear you say you didn't understand the material. I didn't hear you say that it was, confusing to you. I heard you say that you struggled with, it sounded like some of the mechanics, especially paying attention. I don't know about you, but I would struggle mightily on an exam if I had a hard time taking in the content to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't have the attention span to even really like fully learn and study and take in the information. I mean, I feel dumb because I can't do school. I can't pay attention. Um, I can't, for whatever reason, do the follow through of the homework. Like the motivation to do that is just like zero.
Mhm.
It's just, I'm really frustrated with myself.
Was school ever easy for you? Quick timeout. I caught that. I'm really frustrated with myself. I'm gonna get there in a minute. Time in. Was school ever easier at any age?
Mhm. No, I really always kind of struggled,
Hmm.
to be honest. But I
How'd you
guess I
get through high
hoped
school?
by the skin of my teeth.
Yeah. And yet you
Yeah.
still had that ambition to become a veterinarian.
Yeah, I guess I thought I don't know, I guess I thought college would be different, and I guess I thought because I was really interested in it, I would be able to push through. I don't know. I don't know.
I hear that frustration that you mentioned just a second ago. I hear the defeat and the sigh and the I can'ts that you're describing. I also hear the passion that it sounds like is still there and that you are still interested in. I'll tell you from a professional perspective, I don't know you very well. We've been talking for 13 minutes. I could be completely wrong and they could be completely right. But based on what I've heard so far, I'm not convinced of I can't. Um, I hear you that it didn't go well. I hear you that there are some barriers, but I also hear that attention piece. And I also hear you saying that despite it being difficult to get through high school, you did get through it and you did move forward into this particular path in college. So if ultimately you do decide that you are absolutely done with this particular pathway, okay, fine. Um, if ultimately you decide that you wanted to take a run at it, I have some thoughts on some things that we could maybe start to look into as to why school might have been difficult for you and how that experience might be different for you in the future. So I'm not dictating that path for you. If you're done, you're done. Fine. Um, but slash and you don't have to be done. You decide. And you don't have to decide now. You don't have to know today, but that can be part of our work together is figuring out what you want to try next.
Mm.
And if you want to try this, I have some thoughts.
I think we'll leave it there for the purposes of today, but great. Loved it.
What's different? What's different about that?
Asked way more exploratory questions about me, my perspective, the way I think about things, and then kind of noticing, I don't know, I guess noticing like my thought patterns and noticing the cracks in them too and kind of pointing them out, and then also I think just holding space for both paths that I don't know that AI would be able to do, maybe, but like, hey, I'm not telling you you need to go for it. I'm not telling you you need to give up. I'm just hearing I'm hearing that there's still some passion there. Again, you can, I'm not telling you what to do. You can decide to give up. And I'm still holding, I'm still seeing that passion in you. And if this is important to you, like I am here and I can hold you to that if that's the route that you so choose.
Yeah.
So,
And if I may add in addition to that, might have just spotted some ADHD.
oh, absolutely.
I mean, how different is this person's experience if we are able to kind of adjust their relationship with weed a little bit, which I don't have a lot of evidence for, but there was enough there that it sounds like that's a
Yes.
thing I should follow up on. Smoking too much weed can lead to amotivation syndrome. So I don't know how much he's smoking, but he mentioned motivation and he mentioned weed and he mentioned attention difficulties. I'm hearing all of that. And I
Yes.
have time. I have sessions, I have weeks, I have potentially even months to really start to explore that, like really flesh this out and figure out with them what's going on and where are we going to try to go.
Absolutely.
How different is their experience? We dropped the weed a little bit. Perhaps we address some of the ADHD related concerns. They're also 21. School's hard for 21-year-olds. Not all of them, but
Yeah.
many of them.
Yeah.
Sometimes you come back and they a couple of years later and they're fine.
Yeah.
They're ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah. I really appreciated just seeing the difference there. It's so fascinating. And it made me feel a little bit better too about like my place as a therapist
Yeah.
amongst the AI.
For sure. Yeah. It can't do that. It's not even close.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
also, me and this client started today to form a little bit of a relationship.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Whereas that person in the bot, there's no relationship. It's a bot. A bot's a bot.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I loved it. All right. We gave you a long one today, so I think we're gonna end it here. But
Yes.
I think it's so meaty and so important to talk about AI therapists right now because I think it really is taking over, like whether we like it or not. And though, I think today we just gave an example of how like the human therapist is still very much necessary.
I think so. Yeah.
Thank you all for listening. Here at Delve Psych, we offer individual, couples, group, and family therapy. If you're interested in a free consultation call, head on over to delvepsych.com, DELVEPSYCH.com. Follow us on Instagram at DelvePsych Chicago. Follow us on Substack, delvepsych.substack.com. And we'll see you guys next time.
All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.